All right. Good evening, caller. Thank you for holding. Please go ahead. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, please go ahead.
Hi.
Hello, are you with us?
Yes, hello?
Yes. Good
Yeah,
evening,
you're
caller.
a little low. Can you hear me?
I
Yes,
can hear
yes,
you
I
very
can
well.
hear you too. Yeah.
Okay. I just want to say that I wish Dr. Kenny Anthony the best.
Thank you so much.
While in opposition, it was on my heart. I prayed for you so much. And now you're there. I wish you the best
Thank
in
you
your
very
administration.
much. Thank you. And I want to thank you for those prayers too.
We
I've
are going
always
to keep-
said to people that the best gift anybody can get is a gift of prayer.
We are going to keep praying
thank
for
you.
you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you very
Thank you
very much
so
for your
much. Thank
contribution. Now, I'd asked a question concerning the
Sure.
visa revocation
Oh, yes,
issue.
you want to come back to yeah.
Yes, let's talk about that a bit. And I know that you had prefaced what you were going to say with your legal obligation to be careful about how you craft that
because
message.
one would not want to prejudice any individual unduly. But what I would say is this. If the United States moves to terminate a visa or cancel a visa, especially of an officer who is highly positioned in law enforcement, and if it turns out that that cancellation is due to reasons other than normal or usual transgressions, then very clearly there will be an issue of security for us, because it will mean that the U.S., with whom we work very closely on national security issues, will not be comfortable working with an individual high up in the police force. Because clearly the United States is an important partner in our fight against crime. The United States is a significant contributor to our national security efforts. In a couple of days' time, for example, we will be taking ownership of 2 major patrol boats to assist us with maritime protection of our borders. So clearly, if that cancellation is due to reasons that are not the usual reasons, then it has to be a matter of concern for us. But you need to understand too that the United States is exceedingly careful about what it says in respect of visa revocations.
But I mean, in your position as the Prime Minister, and we have a call, we'll take that call in a second. In your position as Prime Minister and as a government, have you been able to get any further information with regard to the reason for the revocation of the visa?
The United States will never tell you the real reason. And they will tell you that that is not their policy. What they will probably tell you is that the United States would have difficulty, would have issues with working with an individual who they think they may not be able to work with in accordance with the usual procedures that are employed in these matters. But they may not necessarily tell you that it was for X, Y, and Z reasons.
So can I deduce then that an investigation is ongoing from the standpoint of the government of St. Lucia?
Well, I would say that the government of St. Lucia has every reason to assess the situation very carefully. The government of St. Lucia has to determine whether the visa revocation of that individual would impact on the national security arrangements between the government and the United States of America. If it is clear that the United States of America would have difficulty trusting the hierarchy of the police force, trusting a senior officer of the Royal St. Lucia Police Force, then clearly we need to take a look at this matter.
Thank you for holding, caller. Please go ahead. Hello, are you still with us?
No, I think we've
okay,
lost
I think we lost that caller. That person was
yes, I
very,
want to apologize to the caller.
Yes,
though.
very patient. Sorry about that. Dr. Anthony, we're about to wrap up, and it has been a very enlightening experience sitting with you to discuss developments within government, you know, and politics. I think we have our final call, so let's just take that call.
I think we need to make up for it.
Yes. Good evening. Please go ahead with your contribution.
Yes, hello, good night.
Hi,
Good night.
Good night.
Yes, I have been waiting for 3 years for the development at the Moshi housing development. I've made a deposit on everything. Up to now, I have not heard anything.
Oh, are you one of those persons from the Conway who was supposed to be relocated?
Actually, no.
Oh.
One of those persons who was within the low-income bracket.
Uh-huh.
And I put a deposit. And
Really?
I'm waiting for them to construct the house up to now.
For 3
Really?
years?
So you paid an NHC?
Yes, what happened,
Okay.
it was supposed to be land only, and I put a deposit of $3,000.
Right.
And later on, they told me that they have some houses.
Right.
They have house and land packages.
Right.
And
And nothing has happened?
It's been 3 years.
Did you have a receipt?
Yes, I have a receipt.
Yeah. Well, you are free to write me and send in a photocopy of the receipt, and I'll make an inquiry for you.
Okay.
Just simply write Kenny Anthony, Prime Minister, Government Buildings. You can drop the letter, and I will check on it for you and let you know what the position is. But you are welcome to make contact with me, and then I'll find out for you what the state of play is.
Okay, all right.
Thank you. Okay.
Government business getting done on Newsmaker Live.
Well, that's a good thing.
That's a great thing.
Because I'm here to serve citizens.
Yes,
so
that's
if I can do
wonderful.
that, that'll be helpful. Sure.
And that was our last call for the evening,
Sure.
and I want to thank our producers as well for giving us some extra time here, because we always want to take the views of the public
Right.
and have them express themselves, and also ask you some questions that I might have missed.
Sure, sure.
But Dr. Anthony, as usual, I want to thank you very much for gracing our set with your presence. It's not very often that we get the head of our government, the leader of our country, to sit down and speak with us. So I really appreciate it.
Well, I want to thank you too, Clinton, and thank you too for allowing me to express and to explain issues. I hope I've brought greater clarity to some of the issues. In closing, let me just say that I can understand the trepidation that St. Lucians feel about the introduction of VAT. I will comfort them by telling them that when I served as Prime Minister, I had my uneasiness, my concerns about VAT. But I've had to come to terms with the uneasiness and the concerns. St. Lucia is now the only country without a system of VAT. All other countries in the Caribbean have introduced VAT as a means of indirect taxation. So, we would be the odd country out. So I've had to come to terms with it. I've had to be reasonably satisfied that in the long term that it can benefit the country, and I have had to be reasonably satisfied there are sufficient safeguards for our people, particularly the poor and the vulnerable. I'm very concerned about them because there are some regressive tendencies in that. So I want them to take this journey with me, to walk with me, but let's take comfort in the fact that others have done it before, and let's also go into it with eyes wide open, meaning that as we go through the experience, if we have to make adjustments, then we will make the adjustments. I said earlier on that the technocrats in the VAT office have said to me, some items will go down. Have also said to me, some items will go up. It may well mean that the balance, the scale is even more uneven. But clearly we will have to analyze the situation as we go forward, because as much as the government may need the revenue, it must not be done at the cost of injury to the people of St. Lucia. So we have to walk through this hand in hand, as I said, and that we have to have the will and the courage as we go along to make the adjustments in the best interest of our country.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Prime Minister. And just before you leave, I know you said this was your closing statement, but Easter is coming up this weekend, so I'm sure that you'll want to wish St. Lucia and your constituents.
Sure, I thank you for that opportunity. For me, Easter is always a season of renewal. There are twin aspects to Easter for me. There is death, Good Friday, but then there's resurrection. I think Easter captures the passage of life. There are moments of anguish, there are moments of pain, there are moments of despair, but always there are moments of glory, there are moments of revival, there are moments of growth, or to use the word I mentioned earlier on, renewal. And I think Easter in a way captures the essence of our lives. And Easter is a time for that quiet reflection. Curiously, I attach more significance to Easter than I do for Christmas. People celebrate the birth of Christ and the joy of his existence on earth. But for me, Easter has a way of capturing the human being and the human spirit. So it is a period of reflection, a period of death, the pain of existence, but there is always silver lining, the hope, the renewal. And may I take the opportunity, therefore, in that spirit, to wish all St. Lucians a wonderful Easter. And I know that they too, like me, are very concerned about the future. But let us capture that spirit of renewal in Easter to rebuild a country that we all love so dearly. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you very much. On that note, I just want to thank the Prime Minister again for gracing our set with his presence. I want to thank you for your calls and being part of Newsmaker Live today. And I encourage you to continue following us every Wednesday from 8:30 only on DBS. This has been the program. Remember, we are here every Sunday as well for the Press Club, where we break down the news. We'll not be here this Sunday, but we'll be here the following Sunday because of Easter, of course. Next week, we'll have another special guest with us for Newsmaker Live. Until then, I'm Clinton Reynolds. Do have yourselves a wonderful evening.